So on the video that I posted yesterday about why participate in a religion that hates you, Jesse Garza asked a question. I want to provide an answer to that question. I think most of you guys will find that interesting. So go ahead and get ready, get set, because the question is, what do you think about deities and people who pray to deities? We're going to answer that question alchemically and hermetically, so get ready for it. Here it comes. Welcome everybody, this is your Coach Renz. I appreciate you being here. And please hit that subscribe button, hit that like, that share, let everybody know. And then please go over to my chat on the channel page of this one, and then click on my new channel, The Alchemy of Sex, Love, and Money. As soon as we get enough subscribers, we're going to change that URL to actually say that as the channel. So go on over there, do it now. Thank you. So, on my video where I talked about why would you participate in a religion that hates you, primarily focuses on homosexuals who would participate in religions like Christianity and Islam that hates them, that tells them that no matter what they're doing, they're going to hell. Jesse Garza asked the question, what do I think about deities and people who pray to deities? I know it really didn't have a whole lot to do with the question, with the actual video, but go check that video out. But then let's talk about that. First, let's talk about deities. What is a deity? Now, a deity basically is a being that we give reverence to, a being that we say is godlike, that is higher or superior than what we are, because we wouldn't call a dog a deity. We wouldn't call an atom a deity, or a mineral a deity, or an element a deity. We wouldn't call a worm a deity. The only things we would call deities are beings that we think are elevated higher than we are. Beings like angels and, even demons are called deities or God, for lack of a better term. Those are deities, or gods, as plural, are deities. Things that we give reverence to, we give honor to, or we in fear of. Not that respectful fear. I'm talking about fear, like you're going to torment me fear. So those are what we call deities. We may call them demons or angels, but they're still a deity because we give them that reverence, because we believe that they are existing on a higher plane than we are. Now, what do I think about deities with that aspect of it and praying? First, we have to understand the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence is the one that most people have heard of that says, as above, so below. Whatever you do in the higher planes, you affect the lower planes. Whoever you pray to, talk to in the higher planes, they can affect the lower planes. I'm getting a little ahead of myself on that one, so hold that thought. But the law of correspondence is basically telling you that there are higher planes of existence. You've seen this in most of your literature, your religious literature. If you look at the Bible, for instance, it talks about Jacob's ladder. And in Jacob's ladder, he had a vision where he saw beings ascending and descending, going through the different rungs. Those rungs represented as an allegory to different levels of consciousness or different dimensions, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat. But it's that description. There is the idea of levels of heaven, where you got in Islam and angels and demons are existing on the different levels of heaven, and when you die you go to different levels of heaven. The Catholic Church taught a doctrine of purgatory and limbo. I think they've gotten rid of one of them. I think they got rid of limbo. But they had different levels of heaven where you may get stuck in purgatory because your soul hasn't quite ascended. You need some people to pray for you. You need to get the priest some money so they can pray for you, so they can get you out of purgatory and lift it up. Dantes Inferno. Dantes Inferno gave the first Christian conception of hell, where you had different levels of hell and different things, levels of torment going on in all the different levels of hell. When you look at some of the Egyptian religions, they had different levels of ascension going across the boat, whether you go across the boat with Osar, or if you were to just go into a more of a tormented situation. So there were different understandings of consciousness. And this is where deities exist. Now the law of correspondence simply takes all of that, is where all of that comes from, the idea of the law of correspondence, where there are different levels of consciousness. Because within that you have the plant mind, animal mind, but you have the spirit, the mental, the plane of matter, the plane of spirit, the plane of energy. You have different planes of existence. So with that, and with the fact that the conscious never dies, the conscious never ceases to exist, your consciousness will never cease to exist. With that, then we have different levels of ascension or descension that we can exist on. So beings that have come before us, beings who have elevated themselves to the level of ascended masters or adepts, to give it a common term that we have today, these people have ascended to higher realms. Those who accept that Yeshua existed and was a great teacher, but not this Messiah character or this Savior that you need him to save you, will say that he was an adept and an ascended master, that Buddha was an ascended master, Lao Tzu was an ascended master, Muhammad is an ascended master, that these creators and developers of higher levels of thought, thinking, are ascended masters and have figured out the ways to move their consciousness up to the higher level. But what the law of correspondence teaches also is that those on the higher planes can affect those on the lower planes, because the law of cause and effect is at play in every dimensional plane. What is the law of cause and effect? For every effect there is a cause, and for every cause there is an effect. Whatever you do on the higher planes, you do on the lower planes. The causation factor may be on the higher planes that affects the lower planes. But let's look at this and how people pray to these deities. People pray to deities, or in ancestry worship, you pray or you ask or you communicate with your ancestors so that your ancestors can do something for you on the spiritual plane that will affect the matter plane, because the spiritual planes are higher than the matter planes. But understand, there are multiple spiritual planes, multiple planes of matter. Just like consciousness, there's multiple planes of consciousness. There's human consciousness, there's animal consciousness, and there's a whole bunch of consciousness levels in between. Then there's plant consciousness, then there's elemental consciousness. So all these different levels of consciousness, if you as a human beat a dog, you are affecting the animal plane of consciousness. If we as humans split the atom, we are affecting the elemental plane of consciousness. So higher planes affect the lower planes. It is the results of the effect on the lower planes can then create an effect on the higher planes, like a reactive effect. So beat a dog and starve a dog, eventually the dog will bite you and maybe eat you. So the higher planes affect the lower planes, but the reaction of the lower planes can affect the higher planes. This is why, as above, so below, the law of correspondence teaches that what happens on the lower plane affects the higher planes, but it's more reactive to what the higher planes did. So when you pray to ancestors, when you pray to your God or gods or deities or whatever it is, what you're doing is sending a lower vibrational plane energy to that higher plane. And you're hoping for, or expecting, if you know what you're doing, you're expecting the vibrational pattern to match the frequency of the higher plane beings, and then they exist and they then rotate that back to you. They become the causal factor. They help you understand knowledge, information. If you were reading the Emerald Tablets, there is a spell, basically, a magic spell, but really it's an incantation asking the higher plane deities to bring you wisdom out of your darkness, to open you up so that the seven lords will exist and bring you their knowledge. And you do this, you send this energy out looking for the energy to come back, looking for the knowledge, the wisdom to come back. You look for it, but then there are active things you do to ensure it. Because what you're looking for is that to motivate you and move you so that you vibrate on this plane of existence in a way that attracts to your gravity well what it is you want. So let me break this, let me get you to this in an easy format. Many people, most of the people, they always pray about a couple of few things. They want better health, they want more money, and they want better relationships. Most things will fit into those categories. So if you wanted to have better health and you pray to a deity, Reticular, the guardian of the harvest, brings abundance. If you pray to Reticular or you invoke Reticular, you focus on the energy, the symbolism, the allegory of Reticular to bring you health. Even though, well, let me not use that. That's more about money. But I'm Imhotep. You bring Imhotep. Oh yeah, Imhotep, great deity. You bring Imhotep, say that, you want to get healthy. You want the deity of Imhotep to bring you health. And this is like the Egyptian father of medicine. You want that health. I think I'm saying the right name. But bring you that health. And if I'm wrong, correct me with the actual name of the Egyptian deity or man being that became a deity for health. I think it's Imhotep. But you're looking for Imhotep to bring you that health. Well, you send that vibration out. What people mostly miss out on is that Imhotep will send the vibration down to give you the motivation and put you in, help you to understand the frequency of getting healthy. So all of a sudden you think it's serendipitous and you think it's a blessing because now here's a group. Your job starts a program that says that we're going to get in shape. And then it's like, oh, right on time. That was so right on time because that's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm looking for. So then you think that is Imhotep, actually doing it. But really it's just causing your reticular cortex to be aware of the opportunities in front of you. So the opportunity now is, oh, my job is doing this. Oh, there's a gym membership and they're having a sale so that I can start without paying a startup fee. Or we just got a new person just walked in my life and they want to go walk Stone Mountain. They want to go walk along the river. They want to be more active. These things start happening to you because what the higher plane existence does is turn your reticular cortex on so that you start noticing everything around you that will benefit you, because now your mindset, your focus is now on being healthy. I want to be healthy. I'm looking to be healthy. My desires to be healthy. Don't use want. My desires is to be healthy. So your reticular cortex starts saying, I want to be healthy. Health. Where's health? Where's health? Where's health? And it finds health because it's where's health? Is health over here? Yes. Oh, great. Grab it. Is health over here? No, no. Push it away. So your reticular cortex does that for you. Your reticular cortex is that part of the brain that starts recognizing the things that you desire, that you just acquired in your life. Before you bought the red car, you never saw that red car. But all of a sudden, now that you bought the red car, you see the red car everywhere. When you desired the red car, then you desired that red Camaro. Now all of a sudden, you're starting to see Camaros all over the place. Here's the thing. They've always been there. They've always been there. It's just your reticular cortex got turned on. Now you see it. Now you see it. So when people are praying to these higher deities, what they're asking the higher deities in truth is turn on my reticular cortex. Turn on that thing that allows me to notice the opportunities so that I can change my vibrational pattern to match that opportunity. Then I can raise myself up the scale and have better health. Oh, turn on my reticular cortex to notice the opportunities of making more money, so that I can get myself in the right frequency, the right vibration, so that I can do the things that serendipitously or in blessings brings me the money. How often do people pray to deities to do these things, but they have this thing in them called doubt? And that doubt kills the reticular cortex. It kills their pineal gland from secreting the right kind of fluids into the brain to turn on your creativity, to make you be able to find that thing, to see that thing, so that you can have it and develop it and do it. That doubt kills it. That doubt kills it. This is why these books say pray without ceasing, because if you keep saying it, the idea is to get the higher vibrational beings to help you and click on, because you want to get into the same pattern as they are in. Deities oftentimes are limited by us. Because the thing about it, the Bible, for instance, says that is it not written that ye are gods? And it just says in the Old Testament, ye are gods. Meaning that you transcend from this existence to the higher existence, or even you decide to go to the lower existence. Maybe you want to have an elemental experience. And after that elemental experience, you say, you know what, okay, I'm good. I had the elemental experience. Now I want to go up and have a higher dimensional being experience. I want to be angelic. I want to be, at a higher level. When you're at that higher level, you're affecting things on the lower level, because now you have a deeper and larger understanding of how the universe works. So you say, I see that this person is in the right frequency. They're looking to get into the right frequency. Let me help them get into the right frequency, because I've experienced that already. So, since ye are gods, Andrew Carnegie, ye are gods. Henry Ford, ye are gods. Mansa Musa, ye are gods. Ramses, ye are gods. Lao Tzu, ye are gods. Siddhartha, ye are gods. Malcolm X, ye are gods. Martin Luther King, ye are gods. Harriet Tubman, ye are gods. All who ascend to a higher level become gods. They ascend and they are there to help you, affect you. All your ancestors, the Akashic record is within you. You see, all those things, all those traits, all those characteristics, they're in you. This is why the Catholic Church have saints who are dedicated to certain aspects. This is why the Hindu religion takes the Brahma and breaks it down into many multiple gods, smaller versions, so that you can understand each aspect of the God, of the energy of God, of the energy of the Creator. They're broken down so that you can focus on one thing. You want to be more loving. Here's Saint Valentine. Saint Valentine's, you focus on love all the time. Love, 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 love. You want to be more nurturing. I think Mother Teresa has been sainted by now. Mother Teresa, Saint Mother Teresa, Saint Teresa. So you focus on giving and caring. And then Saint Teresa is up there and she said, oh, giving and pairing frequencies. Got that one. They coming straight to me. Let me get it. Boom. Santa Marita. Oh, bam. Let me get that. Boom. Saint Jerome. Let me get that. Boom. Kali. Let me get that. Cut that ego out. Boom. Every time. Horus. Boom. Everybody. Everybody. Your uncle, who was really good at managing money. Let me call upon my ancestor, my Uncle Denon. You know, he was really good at that. Let me call on that for my Uncle Denon. Let me call on the energy of my uncle. Let me call on the energy of my ancestors who were great at constructing and creativity. Let me call on those ancestors. So so people praying to deities is good but not good, because most people don't know how to do it. Most people don't have the right mindset and right knowledge and information to be able to pray to a deity, so to speak, or pray to their ancestors, or invoke. I don't like using the term prayer. I rather say meditate on or invoke the characteristics of your ancestors, invoke the characteristics of whatever deity, whatever energy, whatever allegory that you're looking at, that you're invoking on a higher plane to affect your current plane of existence. And when ye become a god, when ye become a goddess, you will have that same ability to assist, to help elevate those who are connecting to the frequency, connecting to that energy. So what do I think about deities? Do they exist? I believe they exist, but they're not a deity. They're simply beings who have ascended the ladder a little bit higher than you, or a whole lot higher than you. And when you call on them to assist you. But one thing we make a mistake, we don't call down. Give me that elemental deity, that elemental ancestor who wants to have the elemental experience that's raw, that's just doing what it does, that it doesn't emotionalize itself out of what it should do. It doesn't rationalize itself out of, I need to get into my gut. I need to get into that instinctive part of me. So let me call upon the lion who instinctively does what it does. Let me call upon the protons and neutrons that instinctively do what they do. Let me call upon that, because right now I'm in a moment where I just need to be instinctive. I don't need to emotionalize. I don't need to rationalize. I just need to be instinctive and follow that gut. Follow that. So I know we're always looking up, but sometimes we got to look down. But you're calling on that to match the frequency. You're saying that you want to be wealthy. Match the frequency of those who have become wealthy. You want to become, loving. Match the frequencies of those who have gone before you, who are loving, who epitomize loving, who epitomized it. Let's match that frequency. When you go into your meditation, your chants, your incantations, when you go into those things and your focus is on that, and you bring in matching the frequency, that's when the higher affects the lower, and the lower reacts to what the higher did to manifest what it is you choose. Because people don't understand it in that way, this is why they go back and forth to the altar and back, to the altar and back, to the altar and back. Sacrifice, 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 sacrifice. Drink it, drink it, drink it. Eat it, eat it, eat it. Do all these things. Throw it, turn around 3 times, throw it over your shoulder. All right, let's ball it up and put it in the basket and burn it. You go through all these different rituals over and over and over again, but never getting a different results. Never getting what it is, because the whole time you lack the ability to get into the right frequency with whatever the deity, whatever the goddess, whatever the being is on higher, lower levels, to be able to match it. Think about it. You do it in the current level because it's familiar with you. Find a woman, find a man that matches your frequency. Hang around with friends that matches your frequency. If there's 9 broke people and you hang around them, you about to be the 10th one, because you start matching their frequency. They fat, you gonna get fat. They in bad shape, you gonna be in bad shape. They in great shape, you gonna get in great shape. you start matching frequencies on this existence, this plane of existence, on the matter plane of existence. So why not do it? So the same laws that affect the current matter plane affects the higher planes, affects the lower planes. The more you understand that and bring chaos, bring order out of the chaos, the more you will have power over manifesting and over the word and over vibration. So I hope that answered your question, Jesse Gaza. I hope for everybody else, I'm sure that it's going to be some great information. It's going to have some great comments. Let's talk about this thing. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. If you think I'm batshit crazy, then tell me, dude, you batshit crazy. You know, because guess what? It doesn't bother me if you do. All right, because I already know that, you know, this screw is loose, this screw is tight. That one's kind of halfway. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. And please continue to share, support the channel on Patreon and all other formats. Thanks. Y'all have a great day. Oh, and remember, Blogspot, Blog Talk Radio, The Alchemy of Sex, Love, and Money, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. starting on the 23rd, which is this Tuesday. Y'all have a great night.